Question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
Damn.
147. Shit, if I
147.
tap that chin, you know he going to sleep.
I
We
already know.
already,
I
we
already
already
know
know
he
he ain't got
is.
no chin.
I already know he is.
He said no chance.
You know, he got the confidence in himself that he believed that he can do that because he's been knocking all these fighters out that he's been in the ring with. You know, so
Davis has issued a brutal warning to Terence Crawford, claiming he can stop him if they fight at 147 pounds. After a classic knockout victory over Frank Martin, Tank extended his flawless record to 30. Boxing enthusiasts are still buzzing about Davis' spectacular win, with many hailing him as the emerging face of the sport. It seems Tank is poised for even greater achievements in the years ahead. Stephen A. Smith stated, "We can debate the top fighter in the world pound for pound. We can do that. We cannot debate who's the most exciting fighter, but who's the biggest box office attraction in boxing. That would be Davis. We just have to accept it." The ESPN commentator highlighted that Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, and David should feature on the top 5 pound-for-pound list. Nails then Walsh mentioned that he had a feeling he was exceptionally talented, but still believed he needed to face bigger names. He considered Tank's best win to be against Pedraza, where Tank took the title from the Puerto Rican champion in New York. He acknowledged Tank's victories over notable opponents like Korea Gamboa and Pitbull Cruz, noting that Cruz's win looked even better in hindsight. Walsh expressed his desire to see a fight between Tank and Lomachenko, whom he greatly admired as fighters. He added, "But the longer it's going and the better Tank looks in each fight, I'm starting to think, can he beat Lomachenko? He's definitely got the advantage in the game changer. I don't think Lomachenko could hurt Tank as long as the fight is relatively close, or, in the end, Tank can take him out at any point." Walsh then mentioned that he used to believe Devin Haney would defeat Tank due to Haney's cautious, risk-averse style. However, he had begun to reconsider, thinking that perhaps Tank could defeat them all. He noted that Teofimo Lopez would be a tough challenge because of his natural size. Walsh also expressed his belief that Shakur Stevenson could beat everyone, describing Stevenson as exceptionally talented with a completely different mindset. He further added, "Elite as well. He just needs the names." Shakur sought their names. He fought in 2022 against Oscar Valdez and made him look like he was an average fighter. Walsh contends that Davis has not only evolved as a fighter inside the ring, but also emerged as a notable figure outside of it. He said he's improved a lot. "He was a very good fighter when he fought me, and he's got a lot more belief in himself now. I think there was still a slight doubt in him when I fought him the Pedraza win. He looked invincible and like he didn't have a care in the world. When he fought me, he had the same, but I think there was still a little element of something missing." Walsh remarked that Tank now carries himself with the confidence of knowing he is the best fighter in the world. He attributed this to the experience Tank has gained, noting that it has made him more patient despite losing rounds. Tank remains unfazed and confident in his ability to catch his opponents. Eventually, Walsh observed that Tank has become adept at reading his opponents, indicating significant improvement after parting ways with Mayweather Promotions in 2022, led by none other than Floyd Mayweather himself. Davis has squared off against notable opponents like Raleigh Romero and Hector Luis Garcia. Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin are all formidable contenders in the lightweight category. It's evident that breaking ties with his former mentor was a pivotal move in Davis's career trajectory. Wouldn't you agree, according to boxing pundit? Showbiz, the adult, and the recent actions of Tank Davis suggest a significant rift, with Floyd Mayweather playing out prominently on social media following Davis's recent bout against Martin and Leonard Ellerby's departure from Mayweather Promotions. Showbiz elaborated on why he believes Davis made the right call to part ways with Mayweather. In hindsight, it might seem like Floyd Mayweather is the biggest name in the sport, so how could it be the best thing? The commentator explained that Floyd's mindset is more aligned with money than a lovely boy, emphasizing that when Floyd develops his fighters, he prioritizes financial gain and currency over building a legacy.
Honestly, I'm not sure how good Floyd is for fighters because Floyd thinks like money. He doesn't think like pretty boy. So when he's bringing his fighters up, he thinks money, currency over legacy. That hurts a fighter. career. It does. That's why I said Tank has arrived. And a lot of you guys said Tank's been here. I said, no, Tank has arrived now. He's his own man. I remember when Floyd Mayweather arrived. I remember when he left Bob Arrow. I remember when Roy Jones Jr. arrived. I remember when he left his father, bruh. And that's right now for Gervonta.
The pundit claims that Floyd Mayweather's actions have the potential to permanently harm a boxer's career. Showbiz the Adult highlighted the moment Davis decided to part ways with Floyd, saying, "Tank has arrived. He is now a guy on his own." It's also important to note that Mayweather Promotions doesn't have a large stable of well-established boxers. Kermel Moton, arguably the most talked about fighter in the stable, has only competed in 3 professional fights. In an unexpected twist, Leonard Eller has resigned as CEO of Mayweather Promotions, leaving Richard Schieffer to step into his shoes. Such abrupt leadership changes can shake confidence in any organization. Nonetheless, amid this transition, tensions have risen online between Floyd Mayweather and Davis. Here's what's stirring the digital feud. Floyd Mayweather first crossed paths with Gervonta Davis in 2015. Over time, their relationship saw improvement. However, tensions flared when Mayweather implied that certain boxers prefer spending over investing. Davis took this personally, alleging Mayweather aimed his comments at him. Davis subsequently spread rumors suggesting Mayweather was stranded in Dubai due to financial issues. Since then, the two have engaged in a heated exchange of jabs through social media. Floyd went as far as stating Davis's bout with Frank Martin got cancelled and urged fans to tune into the Alex Perez vs. Tatsuro Terra match at UFC. This move frustrated the undefeated lightweight boxer, who ridiculed Floyd after Eller resigned from his position, later adding, "If you sign with this fraud, he will ruin your career. He is not a good businessman at all." Gervonta Davis's recent remarks about Floyd Mayweather's impact on careers align closely with Showbiz the Adult's insights. The idea of a matchup between Davis and Crawford at 147 libs has generated significant interest among boxing fans and analysts. The welterweight division is currently one of the most competitive and talent-rich in the sport, and a fight between Davis and Crawford would undoubtedly be a blockbuster event. Davis's prediction that he would stop Crawford if they were to fight at 147 libs is a bold statement. Crawford has faced some of the best fighters in the division and has remained undefeated, showcasing his resilience and adaptability. However, Davis's confidence is rooted in his belief in his own abilities and his track record of stopping opponents. A fight between Davis and Crawford would have significant implications for the boxing world. It would not only be a highly anticipated event, but also a clash of styles and strengths that could provide insights into the future of the welterweight division. A victory for Davis would catapult him into the upper echelons of the sport and solidify his status as a pound-for-pound contender. For Crawford, a win would further cement his legacy and dominance at 147 libs. Crawford recently responded to Gervonta Davis's claim that he could knock him out in an interview with The Breakfast Club. Crawford remarked that Davis is just talking. He acknowledged Tank's confidence, rooted in his string of knockout victories against opponents. However, Crawford emphasized that there are distinct levels in boxing. He cautioned that if Tank were to move up to 147 libs and believe he could simply knock out Terence Crawford, he would be in for a surprise. When asked if he would stay at 147 libs for the fight, Crawford replied that he would rather have the money than the credit, but he cautioned Davis against making such a drastic move. Crawford expressed that he would stay at 147 libs to fight Davis because it would be a big money fight. However, he anticipated that critics would downplay the achievement, arguing that Tank is too small and fights at 135 libs. Crawford pointed out that Tank is around 5'5" and a powerful puncher in his weight class, but questioned what recognition he would receive for defeating him. He emphasized that moving from 135 to 147 libs is a significant jump, and not everyone appreciates the difference in weight classes. Before the Gervonta Davis vs. Frank Martin fight, Terence Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, offered some words of caution to Martin. The renowned trainer did not suggest that the 29-year-old withdraw from the fight, but admitted that it was not the appropriate moment for Martin to engage in such a high-caliber match. Bomac was recently interviewed by Fino Boxing, where he said the following: "Gervonta is going to win that fight. He might even knock him out. Let's not fight him right now. Let's get some more exposure. Let's make it a collision course. Let's fight some guys that almost fight like him, guys with the same power as him. Once we get to that, we ain't got to rush anything. Seeing the result of the bout, where Tank knocked out Martin, one can say that Martin should have listened to Bomac. Terence Crawford's trainer further mentioned, Tank is about to go into his prime, and he's already knocking everybody out. Why are you rushing? Why are you rushing your career, son? Listen to me. Why are you rushing your career? Who's pushing you to rush? Talking about Crawford's upcoming potential fights, Bomac said, there's big fights to be made. Terence Crawford is well on the list. That's greatness right there. Pound for pound top status. We'll see what the future plans are, but I've got one big task ahead of me right now, and I'm solely focused on that. I'm easy to make things happen with, simple, very simple. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.